Now in this lesson we will see how to implement search operation. So before we go ahead and implement search operation, once again we are going to create one region over here that can simply collapse all this code. So here hash region, save operation, and we'll end it here, hash end region. So all this code was for save operation. Next we need to perform search operation. So once again, for search operation we have a button. If we run the application, there is a button here. So on clicking this button, we need to take the ID value which is present here, then call our service search method, that is this method, and whatever the method is returning, then do the data binding with that same employee object to these other text boxes. So we have already done the data binding with this object called as current employee, and it is also having change notification facility. That is, whenever current employee is changing, it will provide the notification to my user interface elements. So whenever I perform search operation, I'm going to replace that current employee with the one which I found during search operation. And once again, on clicking the button, we need to do this operation. So once more we need the object of our relay command. So we will create one more object of the relay command as a property, and we will do the data binding with this search button. So let's create one. See, property relay command, say search command, search command. This is the name. We don't need any setter for it, we just need get. Then apart from that, we need a method which can be given to this command in the constructor, which will be passed to an action delegate, which will be invoked whenever the button is clicked. So we'll create a method here. We'll say public void, say search. Search method will take the ID, perform the search operation. If the employee is present, then it displays the employee, else it displays the message saying employee not found. So here we'll put a try and catch block. In case if there is any exception, we will handle that exception here. So var obj employee equals to obj service, our service object dot search. Now we need to pass the ID will be present inside this object with which we have binded our text boxes called as current employee. So we'll say current employee object dot ID. If this employee is present, then we will change. If there is any employee with the ID, then we will simply change the values for the current employee. So we'll check it here. If obj employee is not equals to null, then we will say current employee equals to obj employee. I observe here again, I am using the property, not the variable, because the property setter is going to give the notifications here. Then in case if it is not present, then we display the message to the user. In else part, we will simply say message. Once again, we have our property called as message here. I'm using the property, not the variable, because in the setter again we will get the notification. So we'll say message equals to say employee not found. So this method we can pass it to the delegate, action delegate that we have for search. So we again go back here and we will say search command equals to new relay command, and the method to execute for it is search method. Let's test it. We'll try to give the ID 101 and we will say search. Oh, we did not do command binding for the button, so we'll go back to our view. We'll select the search button and we will say command equals to binding path equals to the name of the property that we have created in our view model, that is search command. We will take the property name and we'll put it here. Let's run. So we will look for 101, which is already present. It should return me back Syed. It is returning. I'll look for 103 and say search. Let's see. We'll set a breakpoint and run in the search method. Say search the ID 103. Again, it's returning back the same employee. Press F5. Let me close this and we will try 103 again. 03, say search. Now this time the employee object is coming down. Alright, it's saying employee not found. The problem here right now that we are facing is it is storing the reference of this employee which was searching into current employee. So if I make the change to my current employee, then it will also change the values in my list over here, because this search method is working with a list. See, from the list we are retrieving the value. So from the list it's not retrieving an object, it is returning a reference of that object, and the same reference we are storing it in the current employee, and if I change anything in the current employee will also change in my list. So instead of directly storing the value in current employee, we will simply change these properties of the current employee with these values. Current employee dot age, obj employee dot age, and this will fix my issue. So 101 we will look for first. Say search, it is finding. I'll try to look for 102 and I'll say search again. It says employee not found this time. So this was the search operation.